How you doing, everybody? Dragon Wolf Pup here for some more sorcery. In the last episode, we went into the Shanker mines and almost died, probably. Actually, we died twice, or once. And then we almost died again, but I escaped. So, probably not going back in there. Anyway, and in this episode, we are going to begin by a bridge. You follow a path that leads sharply downhill into a narrow valley in which a stream runs. There is no path along the bank, but there is a bridge. Inspect the ropes and planks. You test the ropes. If this is a trap, it's not one that will dump you into the stream. But you could always struggle through the vegetation on the bank and try to find a fording point. Yeah, let's use the bridge. Why not? Moving slowly and with one hand on your sword hilt, expecting the boards to give way at any moment, you inch across. The bridge holds, and you reach the other bank quite safely. You now have a long walk ahead of you, along the ridge, and through a light covering of trees. Alright, we're going to make our way. Where is this? Further on. Excuse me. Yes, that's so interesting. I'm sure this is probably where those caves would have come up. Anyway, the path climbs again up into a low hill covered over with thick bushes and shrubs that snag at your clothing. Halfway up, you hear sound. Twigs breaking. Let's stop, because there's something. Oh, what is that? Okay. You freeze as a large creature the size of a bear emerges directly in front of you. It has black and white fur and a long bushy tail that trails out behind. It growls menacingly. Let's try to edge around it. Perhaps if you are careful, you can slip around it. Let's get to the right, because, right pod, yeah. You try to slip towards the bushes, but clearly something about you, or what you carry, attracts the beast's attention as it sniffs the air and then moves towards you, its sharp teeth on display. You will not be able to avoid a confrontation. The creature is a skunk bear, and when it raises its tail, it releases a nauseating odor. The smell that hangs around it is terrible. Ooh, I know what spell I can cast. Let's cast a spell. Because if this works, I might be able to cast Law. There's L. L. Sweet! I can cast Law. Control non-intelligent creatures. You cast a spell and hold your hands in the air. You command the creature to stay where it is. It is not happy and bellows and snarls at you, but it does not move, and you are able to step easily around it. The path leads down through another valley and back up the hill. 2 hours pass. Alright. I kind of want to go in there, but I know that that's probably where thing happened. No. I know what I'm talking about. Alright. The sun is now just past its zenith, and everywhere a dusty heat rises from the baked earth. You are worn out, almost to the point of physical collapse. You need food and rest, and no more trouble. Today has been too punishing already. You begin to think about where you will stay for the night. Another night of walking will leave you exhausted, but then you see a small village set into the hill. Let's look at it. Smoke rises from the stacks. The houses are well set, with stone at their bases and thatched roofs of grasses and thick leaves. But there is, unusually, more than just the one street running through the center of town. But it is bleh. Can't read. But it is though as but it But it is as though this place, once rich, has had its heart skipped away. A litter surrounds the buildings, and on the edge of the village are rows and rows of empty, abandoned houses. You continue your slow trudge along the path. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, ruined. Well, we're making our way to Kare. We are really making our way downtown, aren't we? Sorry, I had to pause the story just to say that. I did. Ooh, I wonder what that is. We'll probably find out what that is later. Whatever, let's enter the village. Let's enter the dragonfly. Wait, did I make that joke already? I probably did. You walk into the village. Young hill dwellers pass you and stare at your strange clothes. You nod back respectfully. Let us look at the people. Their own attire is rough by comparison to your gear. They wear their hair long but piled up on their heads. These people are ghastly poor. The village is like a ghost town here on the knife edge of the backlands. Um, I think we need to rest, so let's go rest at an inn. You stop a passerby and ask for an inn, and they lead you there directly. The woman who runs the place stands in the doorway with her arms forward. I don't know what voice to give her. Are you from the king? She demands. No, I'm a mere traveler. The woman narrows her eyes at you. This is a guest house, the best in Cristanti. Only guests stay, and any guest of mine knows that it costs me 3 gold pieces to host a traveler overnight, and 2 to feed them. But it's all between friends. Yeah, I need to eat first, thank you. Food is just being served. The woman steps aside, and you go inside and sit down. A few minutes later, her husband appears with a steaming pot of skunk bear stew. As you eat, you can't help but remember the terrible smelling beast dead on the path, and the thought makes you gag. Still, you stomach the meal all the same, and leave your coins on the table. I'm pretty sure it didn't die, but okay. Continuity error. Do you want a room? Whoops. Do you want a room as well? The woman asks. Thank you. I certainly do. All right, 10 stamina. Sweet. The woman shows you the way upstairs to a room. There are 3 other guests already staying, and asleep, so you settle quickly. The bed is not clean, but it is comfortable, and after the long day and all its narrow escapes, you are grateful beyond measure for the rest. Alright, let's sleep. Your dreams are vivid once again. You are somewhere dark and close. Rocks the size of houses fall from a pitch black sky, and you know they are being hurled onto your back by malevolent ogres. Meanwhile, a tall black creature strides toward you, wreathed in foul smelling smoke, and in the distance a deep voice is booming with laughter. The long, cruel fingers of one hand are curled around the metal frame of a crown. With the other, he beckons you forward as if into a trap. And let us go beyond Cristanti after our nice nap. You wake early and sit for a moment, in no great hurry to leave the village. This is now the 3rd day of your journey, and the muscles in your legs are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. You spend a short while enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly collect your possessions and set off along the path. Cristanti is surrounded by several miles of fields. It sits well in a well-protected ring of hills, and is close enough to the river to be reasonably prosperous. As you follow the path between lines of sunbaked crops, you come to a fork in the road. The right-hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left heads directly off into deep woodland. Let's enter the woods, because I'm really curious about what that is over there. So let us enter the woods. Your journey is too important to slow down by talking to locals. You must pass unseen, and so you disappear into the jungle of tall trees. For a short while the sun is feverish, and then you are between the trees once more, and everything becomes cool and still. You walk for several hours uneventfully. This is a land that was never settled or explored, and very few travel this way. In places, bushes and shrubs have grown over into the path. Let's... Okay, there's probably something in here somewhere, so let's go carefully. You pick your way carefully forward, moving slowly but silently between the trees. If there are any beasts nearby, you should be able to wring their necks without them hearing you approach. Then you come to a fork in the road. still deep in the forest. A fork in the forest. Well, good it's not a spork. I need to stop. Someone has thought to make a sign, perhaps as a guide or perhaps a warning. The way to the right is marked for Dumpus. A left turn points to Aliana. Neither way seems the better trod. You will have to choose. Let's go to Aliana. I'm probably gonna die, but I don't care. I want to see what's going on here. The path winds between trees that get greener and more lush. You must be closer to the river here, although you cannot hear the water. After about half an hour's walk through the dappled shade, you come across a well-built hut. Flowers decorate its walls, and the door has been painted with ornate designs. The path ends here. Let's knock on the door. You approach the door and knock. There is no reply. Let's get around. You perform a sweet circuit. Yeah. You perform a swift circuit around the hut, but find nothing unusual or concerning. It seems to be what it is, a hut set by itself deep in the forest. But for someone to survive out here on their own, surrounded by the beasts of the jungle, they must be someone quite powerful. This is probably a bad idea. Let's go inside. You push open the door and stride inside. With confidence. The hut is neatly laid out. You detect the touch of a fastidious woman. Chairs are set around a table as if for guests. A mattress lies in one corner, and a large kitchen area indicates that whoever lives here, they are fond of cooking. Let's call. Hello? Is anybody here? To your surprise, a voice answers quickly. Who's there? Who's that? Let's locate the speaker. Looking into a corner hidden by a large cupboard, you see a cage in which a young woman is imprisoned. Good stranger, please let me out of this cage, I beg you. I'm sure you're there for a reason. A reason? She declares. I did not lock myself up, is that what you mean? It was Elvins that did it, those mischievous, prankful Elvins. Please, you must help me. I have not eaten, and they left me here, where I can see all my cooking things, but cannot reach them. If I let you go, what I get in return? Sister, she answers, looking miserable, I am but a poor woman. Yeah, sure. My apologies. You shame me. I'll help you. Going over to the cage, you try the door. It is locked, of course. You should be grateful I waste my strength on you, you declare as you roll up your sleeves. Alright, let's cast a spell. But I want to see if I can use... No. Okay. I was gonna see if I can use sus right now, but I can't. Alright, fine. Open locks and doors. Dop! You cast the spell over the lock and it begins to shiver. Like a small beetle, it hums and clicks as the tumblers turn and work. Then finally it snaps open and drops to the floor. The woman claps her hands in delight, and with the door open, she rushes out and throws her arms around you before backing off a pace and trying to regain her composure. Stranger, she declares, I am in your debt. Aliana will reward you. Will you take an aid in combat or mastery of magic? We will take an aid in combat. Very good. No, wait, shit. Very good. She lifts the hem of her dress and removes a bracelet from around her ankle. This is Ragnarista's armband of sword mastery, she declares. Wear it, and it will bring great skill to your sword arm, with my blessing. Sweet. With a nod, you accept the armband and place it on your right arm. The effect is immediate. You feel your muscles strengthening and growing powerful. The lady has been freed. It seems like there is nothing more to keep you here and from your quest. Yeah, let's ask if I may eat, because I want some food. Oh, dang it, I wish she would cook for me. Damn. May I eat my own food here? She nods, and you settle down at the table and quickly devour a quantity of your cheese and bread. She watches you with a simple pleasure. Then finally you stand. Enough of this, you declare. I have a long journey to make. She nods. Of course, please, before you go. And she holds something out. It is a small bag of gold coins. Yeah, let's take some coinage. Oh, what? Okay, that's not good. You bow your head and accept the gift. There are 5 gold pieces inside. And one more thing, she says. You must understand, Aliena does not give gifts to those who are not worthy, and any worthy woman is capable of dying. Suddenly, before your eyes, 2 transformations are taking place. The first one is in one of the chairs, which begins to crack and creak, standing and stretching until it is formed into a violent wood golem, advancing with fibrous claws outstretched. The second is in Aliena's face. Gone is her peaceful calm, and in its place the cackling madness of a witch. Oh, okay. Um, well, that's not good. Cast a spell. I don't feel like. Well, I mean, I could probably fight and do better, but I could also burn the golem, which would probably be good. You hold up your hand and cast a spell. A small burning fireball materializes in your palm, and you fling it across the room at the wood golem. The creature catches the light immediately and shrieks in pain. Aliana rushes off to find water to douse the fire before her house goes up, while you make a hasty exit. You retrace your steps to the last junction, where you turn to take the path to Dumpus. Sweet. Well, I got some good stuff, so I think it was pretty, yeah. The path winds a few more times around gigantic trees thousands of years old, and then emerges onto a sudden plain as if the forest had been scooped away by a gigantic hand. A river trickles thinly between short grasses, and by its banks stands a tiny village. Let's enter the village, shall we? Today has been a short day with few true dangers. With a decent meal and a night's sleep, your next day will start auspiciously. So you begin the gentle climb down into the village. You follow the path down the village, passing a sign which declares it to be Dumpus. The streets are thin and narrow, and the buildings have been set close together, as if trying to withstand a storm. There is a terrible smell hanging in the air. All in all, it seems an unpleasant place. And with that, with our entrance into Dumpus, we shall we shall end it here. And in the next episode, we will figure out what's going on in Dumpus and probably make our way, well, somewhere. And we will continue on our path to Kade through the Shamawanti Hills. So, until then, peace.